program dedicated to facts and information. We bring you what the real reality is. We bring you documentation of how parasites, criminals, manipulators of entire civilizations have taken over your country and your world. This is not about theatrics. This is not about ratings. This is about a peaceful revolution of information, a revelation. Incredible things are happening.
I am not autism. You're wrong.
Hey, fellas, have you heard the news? You know that Annie's back in town. I won't take long just to watch and see how the fellas lay their money down. A style is new, but the play's the same, and it was so long ago. But from her eyes, a different smile. I got the one who knows.
We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. We are the answer to 1984. We are 1776.
Well, it's been 10 years or maybe more since I first set eyes on you. The best years of my life go by. Here I am alone and blue. Some people cry and some people die by the wicked ways of love. But I just keep on rolling along with the praise from the Lord above. People talking all around about the way you left me flat. I don't care what the people say, I know where their job is at. One thing I do have on my mind, if you could clarify, please do. It's the way you call me another guy's name when I try to make love to you. I try to make love, but ain't no use. You give it to me.
Woo! Because I'm fighting all the way. I'm energized. I'm awake. I'm not dead. People ask me how the hell I can have so much energy when I come in here, and I'm not like this in person. They're creating a world government mark of the beast. 2.2 billion people just got told they can't use certain words. They're announcing giant cult-like brainwashing. They're teaching 5-year-olds how to suck cock in public school. They're sitting there doing everything you could ever freaking imagine, killing babies after they're born. And the churches are such Pharisees, they're worried that I just talked about sucking cock instead of killing babies and chucking their damn organs out. And the open world government mark of the beast with the Chi-Coms is now here, and people are like, well, they're a private company. If Bill Gates gets a .44 Magnum on air, shoves it in his mouth, and blows his brains out the back of his head, the next day, after it's confirmed he's dead, I will blow my brains out on air. I'm just telling you, they're going to pay. We're not going to sit here and take this crap. You think I'm a doormat for you to piss on, you little rat? You little piece of crap.
So hard I couldn't mind. Get some money saved. Abuse my love 1,000 times. However hard I tried. Heartbreaker, your time has come. Can't take your dream away. Go away, heartbreaker.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Going Postal. We're here for our special edition of Going Postal. It's our Christmas episode. We're trying to not let the defeat of just getting video after video deleted that we put blood, sweat, and tears into. We'll put fucking hours of work into an intro. I'll fucking drive to Sam's house, leave my kid just to go record this because I actually believe in it, and then you guys will just take it down because we're spreading dangerous medical disinformation.
I mean, Dylan, we're the one with the fucking problems here. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if it's fucking that time, if you're still listening to this shit. If it hasn't been deleted by now. But we're not going to talk about anything. We're not going to talk about... We were wrong, okay? Yeah, we were wrong. So, today we're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to spread some fucking cheer. You don't need to fucking send us to your supervisor or anything. Don't worry about it.
We're spreading cheer, and that's just something we really don't do in any episode. This is probably a first for us, guys. We'd fucking normally just talk about whatever conspiracy we've been on in the past.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dylan. I think we spread some cheer. We're spreading happiness through knowledge.
True.
If they're finding this, they're setting out to look for it. This isn't just something you come across on the interwebs.
It is kind of doom and gloom. I think I look at it as like we're spreading doom and gloom at first, but then we like build people up.
It's gallows humor, okay? People, the end of the world is here, and me and Dylan are just here to usher you into it.
You're going to be like a phoenix rising from the ashes whenever all this shit falls apart. It's obvious that World War III is going to happen sometime soon. I don't know when. 10 years? 10 minutes? Who knows? I don't know anything. But it's clear that it's going to happen soon. And we're just trying to get prepared for it for the end times. Whenever, like, the Patreon money that we could eventually get from this won't even matter at all. Won't matter at all because the currency is just completely inflated so much to where you need a wheelbarrow to go buy a loaf of bread. The currency just doesn't even matter anymore, and we're living solely off of fucking a bartering system.
And whenever that comes, I want it to be our voices, the vitriol that we're spitting. I want that to be what you're listening to. None of this other slop. I want our hateful fucking rhetoric to be what you're listening to. That's what I want. That's my fucking Christmas wish, Dylan.
So whenever the grid's going down completely, the last thing you're going to hear is Going Postal. If that does that make you feel good, bad? I don't know, but that is what you're going to hear as the grid goes down for sure. We're going big time, folks. They're deleting us. We're on YouTube's radar because we're hitting the big time. We're in talks with Joe Rogan in the upcoming weeks.
This broadcast is sent to you from a secure location. I mean, me and Dylan aren't fucking around here. We're locked 5 levels deep in a bunker right now. We're ready. We're ready for the kill squad to come after us, okay?
You guys all laughed whenever I spent all my mailman money on a bunker out in the middle of Nevada, but look who's going to be laughing. I'll be laughing whenever I've wasted all my money in Nevada and just shit goes on like life goes on like normal for the next 7 years.
And then you're going to starve in the desert while you think the world ended.
But
I guess it's actually just really shitty out here. I thought the world was over.
Guys, don't worry. Trump won. Everything's just going to be all right after this. Everything's just going to go back to fucking 2018, pre-COVID, where people were just chilling big time, got money in your pocket. Honestly, 2018 wasn't even peak America. When do you think peak America was? I'd say like 60s.
50s.
No,
dude,
yeah,
are you
50s.
kidding?
60s sucks.
The 50s was a fucking paradise.
Yeah, 50s is really like the fall of Rome, pretty much. Like, it's only gotten downhill from there. 60s was like the beginning of the end times.
I'm not saying that. I think we look through this shit with rose-tinted glasses. There's always new problems to face, but right now, I mean, the past decade, certainly, it hasn't been standout for the U.S. I'll leave it at that.
I guarantee if we were alive during the 70s, though, and we were just getting that pure cocaine, we'd be having a good time. We got money in our pockets before the currency just gets fucking inflated as fuck. In the 80s especially, the currency got really inflated. If we were living in the 70s with all that cocaine and just so much access to money, we would be living like kings, for real.
Dylan, let's talk about the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s TV, could you think of anything better?
Dude,
There's the people, just the fucking regular people running around in the early 2000s. That's true Americana. I don't want to speak on this. We're not going to go on a tangent. choose your favorite year.
Whenever you said pre-2000s, I just imagined myself as a fucking sleazy mortgage broker, just fucking taking just hard-earned money from fucking families. Like the people doing that were making millions, and then just like whenever 2009 happened, it just crashed so hard. 2008, 2009, that shit just all came crumbling down like a fucking house of cards. And so many people, I'd say 25. I have no information to back this up at all, but I'd say 25% of all mortgages like went into default. Went into.
This is completely anecdotal. I'm riffing here, but I'm going with 25%.
It was bad in 2009, 2008. So many people lost houses.
It's gonna be how fucking insurance is. Everybody and their dog is doing fucking insurance or fucking real estate. Some fucking retarded bullshit where you don't need to do anything all day.
I really felt like I was in The Big Short like a week ago. I saw this dude. Literally, it was my...
He's getting his balls taken from him.
It was my we're in a bubble moment whenever this fucking redneck-ass looking motherfucker who, like, definitely smokes meth walked into a bank and was like, do y'all have a Bitcoin ATM here? And I was like, I just wanted to call you and just be like, yep, we're in a bubble. Fucking short crypto. It's fucking way too much.
That's not a bubble. That's just hell is close. The gates are almost open.
I'm really going to be upset if Bitcoin... I never got into Bitcoin. I've never understood the value in it, but I would be even more upset missing out on Bitcoin and then finding out that it's like a CIA-backed like PSYOP or like CIA program, basically, and they just made up some Satoshi whatever.
Let's be honest, it's the most stereotypical Japanese name you've ever fucking heard of, and nobody's ever seen him once. He's totally anonymous. All right. Whatever, guys. It's gonna free you from the government. It's the new. It's gonna get you away. All right, go buy Bitcoin. Sure, whatever.
So many people are going into Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin, but just the stupidest fucking meme coins. And people, the Hawk Tuah coin gained 500 million in value in 20 minutes. I think 20 minutes from launch, the Hawk Tuah coin is valued at over $500 million. I understand people are just buying that ironically, but it's still hard-earned money that people are working for to put into the Hawk Tuah coin.
It's always a pump and dump. And you see what happened with the Hawk Tuah coin. It was a pump and dump. What a fucking surprise.
It's always a pump and dump, but so many people are so stupid nowadays that they just think that they can get out before the masses. And
it's literally just thinking that you're cleverer than everybody else. It's the type of people that where, oh, dude, are you about to trade in your car? It's getting up to 200,000 miles. These motherfuckers think they're being smart. They think they're getting something out of not keeping their car around. Oh yeah, dude, no, I just got done with this lease. I'm gonna start up on another. You're going to stay in debt forever? Okay.
Yeah, about time to get that trade-in going. It's been a couple years.
I need a new car. I really need... All right, buddy. You're driving around a 2020 fucking Tacoma. Yeah, I'm about to head in and get a fucking trade-in. Nearly 250,000 miles on a 2020. All right, buddy. Where the fuck have you been driving? This is a story I heard from a man at work. Who are you?
The materialism in this country and the consumerism is out of control, and nobody even has money. We're all putting it on credit cards. We're at the highest we've ever been in credit cards by a mile. We're at 1.2 trillion in credit card debt, just stacking, and it's only going to get worse this holiday season because during Christmas time it really comes out.
Nobody can afford Christmas presents.
The demons really come out, though, and they put it all on credit cards, rack it up, and then spend the next 6 months paying it off all their bad decisions. And because they didn't save properly to buy these presents, because who can save properly? We're all making $20-$30 an hour. I mean, most people aren't even making 30. We're all making $20 an hour, let's be honest.
Everybody that's 20 years old is making $20 an hour. I don't care. Unless you have the fucking highest level jobs or you have your own business or something, if you're working a 9 to 5 working for the man, you're making $20 to $30 an hour if you're 20 years old.
And that sounded good. Pre-COVID, it didn't sound great, but it sounded okay. And then 10 years ago, it sounded great. But now, with the inflation that's happened over this time since COVID, it has gotten out of control. The currency's inflated 25%, maybe more. And
Go ahead.
In the inflation numbers, they always don't include rent, food, whenever they try to show you the inflation graphs to make it look as it's not as bad as you really think. But whenever you include everything, like, people need this, everybody needs it, you need to include it in the inflation numbers. And we're inflating our currency by 7% a year since COVID, maybe more.
They're devaluing your dollar. They're printing more of it. In the past decade, that's 80% of the U.S. dollars ever. In the past decade. Does anybody see a fucking problem with this? And everybody's acting like everything's smooth sailing. We're on a... Let's keep up the same course, guys. Let's go. We're $30 trillion in debt. And I know people think that doesn't matter. The shoe will drop. The shoe always drops.
Just like our own economy, our own people, the government spending is out of control. And that is not as innocent. It is planned to be that way because if they don't spend as much, then their budgets will decrease. They need to just keep spending more and more every year and keep justifying it. And their spending is out of control maliciously. It's not just as innocent as people trying to buy Christmas gifts for their family. It's a government planned spending, and they have no intention at all of fixing the deficit. And Donald Trump gets in, and it is not going to change. He is still going to spend over budget. It's only happened a couple years in the past fucking 100. It's probably only happened 10 years where we had surplus.
Dylan, we need to pray for the white hats. You can't be... We have to have positive thinking. Donald Trump is going to save us. He's going to... Doge will save us.
Donald Trump's going to pardon the Luigi's Mansion guy. I'm calling it now. That's on my 2025 bingo card.
He's setting him free.
Yeah, everyone was so on that guy's side because everyone hates healthcare so much because they're just so sleazy and deny so many people. And I thought it was funny that United Healthcare was the worst. This is factually true. United Healthcare was the worst at denying claims out of any other private insurance company in the United States.
33%. 33%, people. 1/3 of their claims were getting denied. The 16% is the average. These people were fucking scumbags. And then now we have Nancy Pelosi shaking in her boots up here talking about she's concerned about the reaction to this man's murder. I would be too if I was her. It's almost like people, they've taken too much. They've taken too much.
And we didn't even discuss this negative side effect of AI, but they were using AI to basically deny people's claims, and they knew it was faulty. They knew it was denying people that didn't actually need to be denied, but they were just using that AI as basis to deny these people, being like, okay, this is their AI that we set up, and it denied them, so we're just going to deny it so they can make even more money. Last year, they made record profits off of hurting people, sick people, and just the most vulnerable in our country. They made billions. And maybe someone... I'm not even going to say that.
Take it easy. Whoa! Yeah. Let's get back on track.
I'm trying to not let the Christmas episode get banned from YouTube.
We're just trying to spread some cheer here, folks. But we're taking her easy.
I wanted to say something about Luigi's Mansion. If someone actually killed that guy and got away with it, and they spent all that resources to try to find him and couldn't actually find him, they would set up a patsy to fucking take that guy's place. If they had someone MK Ultra it or something, they could just set up him in a McDonald's with the murder weapon, with the fake passport, and with all that shit. They had just someone on standby ready to go in case something like this were to happen, or whatever other scenario they thought they could use him for. That makes complete sense to me.
This is major conspiracy theory territory, and I like it a lot. I was thinking this from the beginning that, I mean, if you were the head honchos, the fat cats, you wouldn't want the fucking little guys running around thinking, oh, dude, one of us got away with it.
Yeah, I was pumped whenever they hadn't found him for like 3 days.
Take it easy. Folks, we disavow. We disavow here at Going Postal. We've said enough. You guys know our thoughts on this.
Yeah, I was pumped because I knew that local law enforcement would catch the guy.
I was pumped because I knew the Department of Justice will bring this man a fair trial.
But yeah, Luigi's Mansion might just be a patsy. We'll see what happens. He does have a very similar smile to that fucking Chad who was in Starbucks, who pulled his mask down to flirt with the barista. I mean, just imagine simping so hard that you got away with it. If it actually was the guy, you got away with it so good. You weren't even on the radar, and you just had to pull your mask down.
You're at a McDonald's. You're the most wanted man in the country, probably, and you decide to take a quick stop at a fast food joint.
Not only stop at McDonald's, but you go inside and sit there for a long time.
That is crazy. Going inside.
Not eating in the parking lot away from people where you wouldn't be seen at all. You want your face to be seen. You want people to take pictures of you even. I saw people who took pictures of him inside the McDonald's. And then the cops show up, and he's visibly nervous whenever you ask him if he was in New York recently.
It's a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
It's all over the place, people. Psyop after psyop, fugazi after fugazi. What's real anymore? I know Christmas is real, or is Christmas a lie? Are we going to take away Christmas this episode and come up with some grand conspiracy against Christmas that ruins it for everybody?
Dylan's been listening to some videos. I haven't participated in it, and I'm concerned about what he's about to bring to the table. So I'm going to put these words out there. This is on Dylan's conscience. Santa, I have nothing against you.
Christmas is my favorite holiday. Out of all the holidays, I think Christmas is my favorite, as well as Thanksgiving, because the family aspect and people getting together, but I have some weird feelings about...
Very valiant of you. That's nice.
I have some weird feelings about Santa, and I don't know if I want to tell my kid that Santa's real anymore. I'm kind of debating it, and I want to know what your opinion is on that.
He's trying to remove the lies. You're trying to lift the veil behind his eyes.
Well, out of all the people, he trusts his parents the most, and you're teaching him that it's okay to lie under certain circumstances instead of just telling him that lying's not okay and you want to be as truthful as possible all the time. You're teaching him...
But that is the case, though. Lying sometimes is incredibly beneficial and doesn't hurt anybody. It's the glue that keeps society together, some might say.
I guess that is true, that lying is okay under certain circumstances, but I'm trying to teach him that he should be as truthful as possible. And then...
It's not like if you're clapping your bitch's cheeks and her pussy kind of stinks a bit, you're not just going to stop and tell her, yo, your pussy stinks, go take a shower. You're gonna commit because, I mean, you've known her a couple years. Her pussy's never stink before. Maybe she missed a spot. We'll go with it.
But it's not just me lying to him. It's also every authority figure he has in his life all lying to him from the age that he's conscious to 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever age we finally decide to tell him or he figures it out. But it's continuous lying by every authority figure and family member he has.
Well, he better get used to it because that's what happens in the real world.
Enough people are lying to him, enough politicians, enough advertisements, enough teachers. So many people are lying to him that I don't think it's okay anymore, really, to tell him that Santa's real. But I don't want that to take away from all the joys that I had of Christmas, which is what makes me not want to tell him that Santa's fake, because I just want to tell him that Santa's real just so we can have the same memories that I had.
I think either way, it's not going to matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of his life, because eventually there's going to get to an age where you do realize, like, there's no way Santa's real. And figuring that out is part of growing up. But, I mean, telling him that you're the one buying the presents for him, I mean, fuck it. You're just taking a tiny bit of the magic out of Christmas. I mean, that's fine. But you're only a kid once.
What I've been thinking about on Christmas, I've been thinking about Christmas from 3 different angles.
He's been thinking about this a lot, folks.
I gotta fucking pause and take a drink of my drink before I get into this speech here. So the first conspiracy way to look at Christmas that I thought of was basically what I talked about earlier, how Jesus' birthday is actually what we're supposed to be celebrating, but it really has turned into praising Santa and praising consumerism, buying all of your family gifts. And if you bought someone a gift in the past, it would be weird to not buy them a gift the next year. And it just adds more and more people in your life that you're getting a gift for every year. And so many people are overspending on gifts, and it's basically it's like a movement, I guess, that is put in place to line the pockets of people who are selling the gifts, I would say.
I mean, it makes sense what you're saying, and that has what it's descended into, but I don't know. I think Santa Claus and just like Christmas comes from pagan stuff, and it just got added into the Christian holiday, and it seems pretty cool to me, dude. I like giving presents to my family and friends.
But I'm just trying to point...
He wants to worship Christ. He doesn't want to fucking jerk off Santa.
I'm just trying to point out how these big corporations are using advertiser dollars to make you feel a certain way in their advertisements. They use Christmas as a weapon against you to get you to spend more money, to get the population of the United States to spend more money. They use it with decorations, advertisements, and they use Christmas as the reason it's so big, and the reason they keep starting it earlier and earlier. They start putting decorations up earlier and earlier is because a lot of their profits come from the holiday season. Like 50% of businesses, the majority of their money comes during the last quarter of the year, the October through December time. This is where a lot of companies are making their money at. A lot more profits than any other quarter for sure.
Yeah, Christmas is pretty fucking sweet. Why is Santa red and white? Coca-Cola.
That is what a lot of people say is why we look at Santa the way we do as a big jolly fat man, is because it's been put into our brains over and over again by Coca-Cola advertisements starting from 1930.
Yeah, no, it's fucking sweet. I love it. Dylan, I mean, like, any of these three angles, like, you got to be pulling out your big guns these next two, because my faith in Christmas is not unshaken whatsoever.
I'm not, again, I know.
Let's go consumerism. I want to keep the economy going.
I want the economy to crash.
I just don't want everybody to have to suffer underneath insurance in the New World Order. That's where I draw the line. But fucking consumerism, let's spend that money, baby. I love that new TV. I love that Xbox Series X. I love that Christmas tree. I love those lights.
I want the economy to crash, not because everything's going bad, but because everybody's converting all their money into gold and silver, and we move to a bartering system.
Dylan's just trying to transcend money. He's trying to break away from the fiat currency.
I mean, it's so obvious that they're using the fiat currency to fuck us so much with, and then they're going to they're fucking us so bad, but then that's not enough that they have to make it a digital currency, so they can just make it ones and zeros, and they just don't even have to print the money, and they can F you faster than they would have otherwise.
Yeah, no, the one world currency will fucking destroy everything. It'll destroy every facet of freedom you know. The social credit score will come right after it. But, Dylan, in the meantime, we can use the fiat currency to buy land, to get places to make your fortress, a place to make your stand. Come on now.
I really want to buy land as fast as possible because they definitely are not making more of it. That is something that I can confirm.
Yeah, the big man told me one day.
There's not a conspiracy about land. They for sure are not making more of it, and you should get some as fast as you possibly can.
Unless there's more beyond the ice wall. This is all we got, folks.
You just brought up the ice wall, and that's a big part of my...
That's a big part of one of his angles here. The ice wall is...
I guess I'll go with the other version and then leave you with the ice wall as the teaser. But...
Thanks.
So Santa Claus is one of the most iconic figures, and basically it all comes from magic mushrooms, if you can believe that. Specifically the
Amanita muscaria?
Yes, the red and white Amanita muscaria, which grows under pine trees, the same trees that we have in our houses for Christmas every year. Isn't that just a coincidence?
Did I tell you to read The Mushroom and the Sacred Cross? Were you the person I told to read that?
I don't remember you telling me that, but what was that?
That's like the Amanita Muscaria and Christianity are fucking linked, and like Christianity comes from like fertility cults back in the ancient days on mushrooms and shit, and it just evolved into what Christianity became.
I could definitely see that. Do you remember who it was by?
No idea.
Well,
Not good with names, folks. I'm 100% a screenshot sort of guy.
So, and people, a lot of shamans in the past have used specifically the Amanita muscaria to give people trips, basically. And people trip balls off the Amanita muscaria. And I know that it kind of sounds weird to hear that a mushroom might be the reason that we have Christmas, but if you could hear me out, I think it's pretty cool. So I guess you could start by saying that Santa is red and white, the same as the Amanita muscaria mushroom. But then also in Siberian shamanistic traditions, the Amanita muscaria played a big role in their rituals. They would dry them and then consume them to trip balls, basically. And then this took place during the winter, where these mushrooms were a lot easier to find. And the shamans would bring them back into the village as gifts whenever they were making their rounds back into the villages to give everyone their mushrooms to trip balls on. And according to some theories, the shamans would deliver these mushrooms in bags, just like Santa would. So we're celebrating the tradition of shamans walking around the village giving everybody bags of mushrooms.
This is just getting better and better for me, Dylan.
Giving everybody mushrooms out of a bag to trip balls, the same as Santa. And
I wish this is how it still was.
The wild part is, and because it's happening in winter, they're all living in huts where the doors are snowed in. So everyone comes in through the chimney of these huts.
Okay.
So
I like that.
The shaman comes in through the chimney to give everyone their mushrooms to trip balls with, just like Santa does. And to top it all off, how the reindeer connect to it all is that they say that the reindeer was observed by the shamans is the only reason that they found out that the mushrooms they make you trip balls, and they saw the reindeer eating them and just freaking out, basically, or just having a good ass time, just chilling. You could like walk up to them and fuck with them. And the only reason that we know of the flying reindeer is because the reindeer were for real flying through outer space and shit.
The reindeer were flying through outer space? High? Is that what you mean?
High on balls. Like the reindeer were tripping balls. They weren't actually flying.
Okay. I was just making sure we were on the same.
But
I can see all this.
I
love all this.
They were high reindeer. They were flying through space. They were high reindeer.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I think it all connects very well, and that all connects to how we could have ended up with Santa today. Because as stories get passed down over time, they change more and more. So you don't have to look at Christmas as some pagan demonic ritual. You could look at it as it all started from our love of magic mushrooms as a human.
Very natural.
What do you think of that?
Dude, again, I'm loving this. I wish that's how it was now. Give me the third. Is this the demon one? Is this a bad one?
Yeah, this one, I guess, is a little darker than everyone chilling on mushrooms having a good time.
This is the Satanism one.
The whole idea of Santa Claus is basically just an inversion of Christ, our Savior.
Nice. So I was waiting for this one. I've heard a lot about this.
And if you believe what I believe, which is just batshit for most people, I'd say.
Oh, okay. I like this qualifier already.
The saints that were alive with Christ, I believe that Christ did come back and he's already risen and he's lived for 1,000 years. We had a millennial reign of Christ, and that's where all these buildings that you cannot explain came from, because we're just living in the bones of the old world, and we just came upon these buildings that were left by the saints, the master builders of Christ, living on earth in harmony, somehow able to tap into more than what we can tap into now. Our buildings have just gotten worse and worse over time, and if you believe that they lived and they are gone, where did they go after this 1,000-year reign?
The Nephilim.
They went to the North Pole, where we're not allowed to go. Where we're not allowed to go, and that's why
The North Pole.
if you shoot down they have a shoot down order on any plane that goes up there. The United States government will shoot you down if you try to explore the North Pole at all, because they're hiding Eden, where Jesus Christ is with his saints.
I mean, I like this. Where is Santa being the inversion of Christ coming from? Let's circle back here. We'll go back beyond the ice wall to the Garden of Eden.
Instead of treating Eden, the holy place, as what it should be, they've turned it into an inversion where they've basically turned Jesus into a jolly old man who rewards good behavior with material gifts instead of someone who is actually faith-based. It's not only about your good deeds, but you also have to have faith and believe in him to make it into heaven. They've inverted that into just a consumerism mentality where material goods is what is most important, and that's what you should get for your good behavior. Jesus teaches that our only eternal life you won't just get eternal life by your actions on earth. You also have to be right in your spirit as well.
Okay, I mean, this is tracking for me. I'm seeing where you're coming from at the very least.
The elves, basically the inversion of Jesus Christ saints living in Agartha, living in what's the other one? Hyperborea. Jesus Christ living with his saints. They've made a mockery of the saints and called them elves. They're portrayed as little toy makers. And
see, I've heard something else. I've heard that the elves are like the machine elves from like whenever you take DMT and shit, like demons. Off-world entities.
I fuck with that. I like that. But specifically in this instance, to make my batshit conspiracy theory seem more real.
we're tying a bow on this one. Pun intended.
They help Santa churn out products in what is essentially a slave factory, and even the way that Santa's depicted, he's sitting on a throne watching over everyone. They treat him as some type of god, whenever there's only one true God, not the one that just rewards us materially whenever we do good.
Not the one that just gives you presents every year. Not him. Come on, Dylan. I see where you're coming from here. I don't know. I'm not gonna be hating on old Saint Nick anytime soon, but the millennial reign of Christ, I mean, if this is what they're trying to stop, then fuck it.
Also, the inversion of what we look at whenever we think of the North Pole as an icy, frozen tundra, whenever really we go past...
It's actually paradise.
We go past the ice wall, and
It's fucking Hyperborea. It has the Agarthians and Jesus there.
with beaches everywhere. It's everywhere as an island.
And just, like, big-titted blonde broads everywhere. I mean, it's fucking paradise up there, and they locked us out.
I mean, if you're an angel in paradise, obviously you have big tits. We got big-titted broads just roaming about.
If you really think that there isn't a big-titted angel up there in heaven, you're on drugs.
If you look at the depictions of maps from...
Hot take from going Postal.
All the old maps say that the North Pole is not a frozen tundra. All the old maps say that there's land up there that's habitable, but nobody that's alive nowadays is allowed up there at all. The government has made sure of that completely because there's penguins up there that need to be protected very much so.
They send teams of scientists up there, and they tell them that they're going to the North Pole. Does the pilot know that he's going to the North Pole? We're just going to somewhere that's really fucking cold and icy. Who knows if it's the North Pole or not? Are you paying attention?
They've inverted Christ to make you focused on material goods for yourself and others, and not actually on getting your spirit right with Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Which, his birthday wasn't even on December 25th, which
Go off, King.
blew my mind. I didn't even know that till today. I literally learned that today.
He's pissed. They're not even getting the fucking date right.
Supposedly, it's that pagan shit where they were worshiping Saturn, the sun god, and they combined it with the Christian religion and the Son of God and they combined those two together as like a compromise between Christians and pagans in the year fucking 1600 or whatever.
I mean, there's a lot of bad shit on Saturn too. There's a lot of child sacrifice stuff connected to Saturn. You know the story of Kronos in the Greek myths? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I mean, I know Kronos, but I don't remember the myth that he was involved in. Is that the rock up the hill? No.
No, that's Sisyphus. So Kronos, or Saturn, he was like Zeus's dad, you know, Zeus, the king of the gods.
Yeah.
And basically Kronos, there was a prophecy that one of his children would supersede and kill him. So he ate, whenever his children were born, he fucking ate them up instantly. But except Zeus, whenever his I forget what his mom was. I don't know what type of hoe she was. Whoever she was a real G, and she hid Zeus away, and she put a rock in the manger instead, and he ate the rocks, thinking it was Zeus. And eventually Zeus comes back, castrates and kills him. And I cannot believe you haven't heard of the black cube of Saturn.
Oh, yeah.
You've never, okay, I was about to say, like, there's so much, like, Saturnalia, there's death cults, there's so much shit on Saturn. This is a whole episode. I fuck with this stuff.
The pagan shit I never really got into researching that much, but it does seem like Christmas did kind of combine with our Christian idea of Christmas and their pagan shit that they wanted to disguise into the day of December 25th that we chose because it's their sun god's birthday.
Okay, I mean, you're starting to chip away at me. Christmas might be the devil itself.
That's pretty much all I got. Just that we're supposed to be talking about the Jesus that offers us eternal life in heaven, and instead we are talking about a jolly old fat man that rewards us with material gifts that don't actually matter. Like, Jesus is a carpenter. He's building shit that actually matters. He's building houses, and Santa's just building bullshit.
So to summarize what I'm getting from here, we gotta praise Christ. Enough of the presents. Might be Saturnalia Satan shit. And it might have something to do with Hyperborea and Agartha. Am I getting this right?
Yes. Every day that I get further and further, I'm thinking Hyperborea is looking more and more real. I don't know what you think about that, but
I don't know. The inner Earth stuff and the Hyperborea stuff, it vexes my mind because I wanted to believe in it. It's bad because I want to believe in it, and it's fucking insane to believe in. I think one of the reasons I want to believe in it is because it's batshit fucking crazy to believe in this shit. But just the fact that there are some things about it out there that are concrete. There's some real shit about it. Where do these people go? What the fuck is happening? Why aren't we allowed there? Nobody can answer these questions, and I mean, we're like a broken fucking record here, but that's what we're here to do.
Whenever I'm thinking about if Hyperborea is real, I'm looking at it through a bias of wanting Hyperborea to be real.
I want to sail there whenever I have enough money. I want to make bank, and I want to sail north and die in the frozen ocean.
I was just thinking today that I want this Patreon money to eventually go towards our trip to Antarctica. We won't be able to sail there, but they're not going to shoot down our ship, hopefully. We're going to get an icebreaker.
I think we should hire somebody to go on the icebreaker to check for the ice wall for us.
No, this is what I've been training for. This is why I'm walking through these streets every day, training myself for the cold. As I stand in front of my icebreaker, I could be hiding in the captain's ship, but I'm going to have Sam there. I want to stand on the front of my icebreaker while I watch the ice break in front of me as I sail to Hyperborea.
Hopefully you can like FaceTime it or something, because I don't know if the Aryans or whoever's up there is going to be happy to see us.
Has anybody nowadays went up there at all? Because you can't guard from every angle. There's no way that people can guard from every angle. If someone had enough money, they can get a ship, they can go up there. I don't understand how no rich person has gone up there at all. Has anybody gone up there since Admiral Byrd?
Dylan, there's a treaty that's been signed. Nobody can own land in Antarctica. Nobody can. Like nearly every fucking country in the world has signed it. It's like the one thing everybody can get along with is nope, nobody can have dibs on Antarctica. Only research stations.
But you go up there as a Elon Musk character with your icebreaker, with your snowmobile, with your tent. You make a long journey. You pack enough food. You eventually get to the ice wall. You somehow get over it. I don't know how you're going to get there, but then
You have to wait until the summer gate opens, Dylan, and it's not going to happen. Have you heard about that?
no.
Don't worry about it. We'll get into it another time.
Whenever
folks.
you said the summer gate opening, I just thought of that one cult that all killed themselves on that one day. Whenever the star,
Gate?
yeah, whenever the star went by.
They were all wearing the same kicks too. I like that. All with the purple sheets and the Nike kicks. Respect.
That's how you want to go out, folks. You want to go out like
You want to kill yourself with poison while you think a UFO behind a comet is passing by, and you're going to beam your soul up and join the aliens in the UFO and fly away from this earth. We might be the retards. The people at Heaven's Gate might be up on that fucking UFO laughing at us.
Whenever I hear that conspiracy, it just makes me feel a lot better about what I believe in, because at least I didn't kill myself because I believe in the millennial reign of Christ.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that's something that you haven't done yet. Yeah.
Yet.
I mean, who knows?
I still got time.
We're still young.
But, fuck. Any other news besides that CEO guy dying? I mean, happy Christmas, everybody. I guess we should just end the Christmas talk there.
No. There's more Christmas talk. Bashar al-Assad has been ousted in Syria. More land for our favorite country in the Middle East. Let's go. They're already being accused of a land grab, and the guy hasn't been fucking gone out of the government for 5 days. I'm not saying that it was a CIA Mossad operation that finally pulled off this coup, finally got this revolution to actually succeed, but they took him down in like 3 days, people. Something's a little fucking fishy over there in Syria. I don't know. Have you kept up with this?
Not at all, other than I just saw that a week ago now or so that the government was overthrown, and I saw a lot of news articles being pushed towards me treating it like it was a good thing.
Yeah, no. Bashar is out of there. He wasn't a great guy. He fucking used chemicals on his own people. Chemical weapons on his own people. I'm not saying he's a saint. That was also alleged. That was alleged, but there's videos and pictures out there. Anyway, Bashar's out of there. The new Syrian government's in there. Who knows? It's a pack of rebels. It's always the same deal. It's going to just descend into chaos once more. What's really going on over there, what really concerns me, it just seems to be the blatant taking over of Syrian land by... This is a jolly episode, so we're not going to say the names. But I think a certain country over there just shouldn't be taking all the land just because there's a massive revolution going on over there. I don't think that's right. They're already taking over a bunch of land over there as we speak. They're building the towns. They're settling it.
It is my American duty to argue that this certain country that we're talking about needs more land. They need more resources from us, and they need more land.
Okay,
I think
you convinced me.
that is my American duty to argue for a country that does not help me in any way. That's definitely what we should do.
But Dylan, in Israel, that's where they make all the pharmaceutical breakthroughs. And then they sell it to China. Isn't that just a slap in the face? We give them everything. We gave them the very ground that they build their houses upon. We gave them the weapons to fight these wars. We gave them who knows how much. And you know what they do? They slap us in the face. But no, they're our friends, folks. They're our greatest ally in the Middle East.
Some would call them greedy. Some would say
Whoa!
they continue to take and to take.
It just seems like they never have enough. I don't know.
Oy vey, my schmeckles.
Yeah. Okay, I think we might be we might be hitting the bottom of the barrel here. We're back to our usual shit. We're back to what we get taken out for you.
I don't know anything about Syria at all. I haven't looked into it at all, so I just have to make fun of that group. I'm not.
I just think it's funny that just as soon as this shit goes down, the government collapses. They're in here.
What I do know about Syria is that Hillary Clinton killed a bunch of people there, didn't she? Was that Syria?
That was Benghazi in Syria, the
Yeah.
U.S. embassy.
Did she kill U.S. citizens?
She didn't kill them like with her own hands. Just her. Well, she technically, I guess, she did kill them because she refused to help them whenever they were under attack by a bunch of militants, and while there were like a team of Marines like 9 blocks away. That was like the huge controversy was some of the Marines did go to try to help them and they died. So like a ton of U.S. personnel died over there. The ambassador was killed in the attack. The fucking U.S. ambassador was killed.
Damn.
Huge deal, and just Hillary gets away with it scot-free is the reason why people still talk about Benghazi. I mean, that was happening whenever me and you were like in middle school, and I remember that being a big deal. I remember my dad being the Republican that he is. He was fucking pissed about that one.
Well, we know that Hillary Clinton will never face consequences for her actions because she's above the law. And it's been made clear time and time again that they've smacked you in the face with that fact. It's so obvious that she's above the law, and they don't care.
Her inaction got tons of U.S. personnel killed, and then she tried to run to be the president. Just think about that. Whenever you're feeling bad about your life, whenever you think that you don't measure up, whenever you don't think that you're the best you could be, just think about that. Hillary Clinton got a ton of people killed and then thought it was a good idea to run for president.
Just like Kamala got a ton of people locked up, and Joe Biden got a ton of people locked up. Joe Biden specifically argued for drug offenses.
I mean, did you fall out of a coconut tree?
Seems like people who run for president got a lot of shady stuff in their past. That's why Dylan from Going Postal is going to run next election cycle. We're going to we got Trump on the pod. We're going to change the age.
He's running for every position in your election, by the way. So every time that you see write-in, put Dylan P right there. Dylan GP.
Dylan from GP.
Dylan from GP. There we go. They'll like that.
And we're starting a movement. I'm putting my life savings into advertising for the 2028 election cycle. I'm sure this is not going to end horribly.
Your life savings. What are you gonna buy a 10-second commercial?
I'm going to buy 0.25 of a Super Bowl commercial. I'm just going to get a quarter of a second. You're just going to see a screenshot of my bare asshole, and then
then I'm gonna blow my head off because I.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.